Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at Exeggutor with Meganium. This is a deck list that I've been slowly working on over time, and it's been a deck that I want to cover because normally Exeggutor is quite a meme card, but this one actually does have some potential, so I wanted to give it a go. As per normal, in the description below there'll be the usual links to the deck list, which is also available to copy in the description below. There'll also be the games that we'll play and the outro of what I think of the deck. So, the whole idea is we're using the new Exeggutor from Mega Evolutions. So, this does have 2 attacks, but we're mainly going to focus on the second one. The first one can at least take out a Budew, which is always nice. Guard Press for 1 Grass Energy does 30 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. Then, of course, the main attack that we want to use is Stomping Wood, 60+. This attack does 30 more damage for each Grass Energy attached to this Pokemon. As you can imagine, when you combine this with Meganium, this can get quite ugly for the opponent. Now, obviously, unlike something like Mega Venusaur, we don't have the luxury of being able to move around our Grass Energies too easily, but I've built the list to accommodate for that, so it's not a huge deal. And we do have a spicy ace spec in here, which, ironically, I had to craft it in PCGL, but I have 4 of them in real life, so that tells you. But, obviously, to get the energies up, we obviously want the Meganium. Not only does this help for retreating, because obviously 1 grass equals a retreat on this Meganium, but also it means that the Exeggutor can hit some really dumb numbers. I've done some really fun testing with this deck, and it is ridiculously fun. But obviously, we do have Teal Mass to get into drawing into cards and stuff like that. But we also put energy onto the board, which we can then energy switch onto the Exeggutor. You could play a 1/1/1 Mega Venusaur line, but I really don't think it's worth it. And even then, you'd have to slip a candy in just in case, you know, you prize the Ivysaur or anything like that. So it could get messy in that regard. I don't think it's worth the bench or the deck space, so I've gone with a bit more of consistency focus, and it's worked really well so far in testing. But the only other card that we play in here is the Fez, which you should be playing a Fez regardless, but Fez obviously gives us a little bit of extra draw, and in a pinch can obviously use Cruel Arrow if need be. So let's go to the deck list and let's have a look. And welcome to the deck list. So, I'm sure some of you are going to skip ahead and say, oh, why are you not playing the 30 HP one? Well, I wanted to throw the other ones up on the screen, just so I can give my example of why I'm playing the Jam-Packed one. Well, the Jam-Packed one not only thins our deck, but also it puts an energy into play on the Exeggcute. Now, obviously, we're not always going to start an Exeggcute, but we do at least have a decent chance of it. But the whole point is I think this 30 HP one with its Precocious Evolution is a bit of bait. I think this is a bait card. The reason for that is because so many decks are playing Monkey Dory right now, and obviously Risky Ruins is also in format. This little guy, if you whiff, for whatever reason, is just so vulnerable, and even if you don't whiff and you manage to get an Exeggutor going, you are literally 10 HP off of being devoed, which, against a spread deck, they are going to love seeing a 30 HP basic underneath. And, yeah. The only other one I'd consider is this one with Ram. This one at least has a decent attack, like it can do 30 damage on the basic. So you can take out Budews and Cleffers if you're really bricking. But I went with the Jam-Packed one because, like I said, it does thin the deck and does help with the Exeggutor strategy. But the Absorb one isn't really worth running. This one's not really worth running because it's a coin flip. And this one has a 2 retreat cost, so again, not really worth it. And obviously, its attacks use Psychic Energy, which obviously we're not running Psychic Energy. But I just wanted to throw the other ones up on the screen in case anyone was curious about which ones there are in the format. But I think this one, for this particular build, is the optimal one. So 4 Exeggcute, 3 Exeggutor, 3 Teal Mask Ogerpon, 2 Chikoritas, 2 Bayleefs, 2 Meganiums, 1 Fez, 4 Lillies, 4 Iono, 3 Boss, 1 Ends Plan, because obviously we are trying to move energy from the Ogerpons onto the Exeggutor, or vice versa, 1 Jacq, 1 Professor's Research, 4 Energy Switch, 4 Bug Catching Set, 2 Nest Ball, 2 Night Stretcher, 1 Buddy Poffin, 1 Scramble Switch. I really wanted to play this card at one point. This card essentially lets us switch our active with one of our benched. And if we do, we may move any amount of energy from the Pokemon you move to your bench to the new active Pokemon. So, to put that in perspective, imagine a Teal Mask Ogerpon with 3 energy on it with a Meganium in play. Now let's transfer that, plus some of our energy on the Exeggutor. You have 5 energy on it, times that by 2. Yeah, I think you can see where that's going. That is pretty crazy. And with 5 energy on an Exeggutor, you're hitting 360. Which is... Sorry, no, you're not hitting 360. It's 5 energy, times it by 6. So you're doing 260... No, you are. You are hitting that number. I always forget that it's 30 more damage, so it's a little bit... It's always a bit fun for early morning Joe to think about, but you can start to see where the whole idea of this build comes from. And even if we use the Scramble Switch early, we can just use Ogerpons to carry us through the game, or even attack with a Meganium. I've never attacked with a Meganium, but it could come into clutch. But like I said, we are accommodating for multiple Exeggutors, so we can energy switch to them, we can manually attach to them, we can end as plan. Things like that, and that's the whole idea of this build, is we want to attack with Exeggutor as much as possible, but we can still keep the Teal Mask as a potential attacker as well. One superior to obviously accommodate for said attack plan, I should say. 1 counter catcher, 3 Forest of Vitality, and then 10 Grass Energy. As you can see, this whole build revolves around Meganium and obviously Forest of Vitality mainly, as do most grass decks at the minute. And obviously, as I said, Teal Mask can obviously come in as an attacker, which is pretty useful. And obviously, Teal Mask damage does scale based off your opponent's active Pokemon energy count as well. So not only will we have a single prizer in the mirror, potentially, is always nice to have, but also we can obviously use the Teal Mask as our 2 prize swingers and even take out some big boys for the Exeggutor, and I'm hoping to do so. If we nail at least 1 Mega with the Exeggutor, I'm going to be pretty happy in this video. Anyway, let's get into some games, see how we do. And straight in, I've not touched the ladder for the last few days, so my rank from the last video has not really changed. I've been doing casual to, excuse me, to do my dailies. Yeah, it's been pretty easy so far. Like, I've just been doing the dailies just so I can unlock more more trade tickets and stuff like that for obviously the Wheel of Pain and everything like that. Also, sorry if I sound like complete crap throughout this video. I'm quite under the weather at the minute. I've had a chesty cough for the last 3 days, and it's not been fun, to say the least, but I've been dealing with it. I've been getting better, which is the important thing. But yeah, it's been pretty okay, you know. I've definitely had worse. I don't feel rough, so to speak. It's just whenever I get a chesty cough, it always goes to my throat. So I will probably be coughing every so often throughout this video, and I can only apologise. What the hell? 2 Mew? Fighting Energy. Bravery Charm. Is this a Mew swinging deck? If so, that is spicy as all hell. Alright, there's a Nest Ball. We'll start with the bug catching set first. We'll definitely take those. Obviously, we're just going to Iono the Exeggutor away, but it's fine. We're going to Nest Ball for an Exeggcute. Let's do a quick prize check whilst we're at it. So we've not prized any of our Pokemon, which is always nice. We've prized 1 Lillies. We've prized 1 Energy Switch. We've prized 2 Ionos, which is going to be interesting. And obviously we've got the Jacq in hand. Scramble Switch is in there, and all our energy's in there. Alright, I can deal with that. And then we'll just Iono. I'd love to know what they're playing, but I'm not going to think about it for now. There's a bug catching set, and we get another Teal Mask. Excellent. So then we can Teal Dance. Nice. Teal Dance. Also nice. We'll Nest Ball. Grab another Exeggcute. And I'll pass. I don't need to do anything else now, because obviously if I attach and they get that Mew going, they can potentially knock out our Teal Mask, so I need to be careful. But yeah, I've not felt too bad in terms of like how my health's been feeling. I've definitely had worse. What the hell is this? Clobberpuss. Faint. Its attacks, damages, and affected by resistance. Something tells me you're part of this deck. I think I know what this deck is. I think I've seen this floating around. I think it was on Snipe the Bench's channel. I've not watched that video, I'll be honest. And sorry to Snipe the Bench. No offense, mate. I've just not had time to look at it. Yeah, Gravity Gemstone. Okay. Artisan. That's fine. I will get around to watching your video, mate. I'd have probably watched it by the time this video comes out anyway, but... Okay. Mega Lucario. This is a weird concoction, I must admit. We can, because this is on 230 HP, if we manage to get something, we could... Why you mentioned the bear? I'm just going to boss the bear. You don't have a Latias down, so I'm just going to boss the bear and swing into it. Very odd decision from the opponent to put down the bear. Restart for 1. They're not supported yet, so they could play a supporter. But no, this feels really weird. I don't know why they benched the Blood Moon there, but you do you, boo. Alright, Teal Dance. There's an Energy Switch. That's not bad. We can thin with the Artisan. We'll grab another... In fact, no, we've got 2 Exeggcutes down. We want to put down a Chikorita just in case. I'll attach to the Ogerpon. In fact, how much damage are we doing? 180. Move that there to 10. It's not worth swinging into the Mew, so I'm just going to boss the bear. And then hit it for 120. I'm not really in a bad situation here. I highly doubt they're playing a lot of Switch, because they seem to rely on Mews as their pivots. Yeah, it is the deck I've seen in my recommendations for Snipe the Bench. I have seen this deck. So the whole point here is you want to use Gravity Gemstone. Why are you turning off your own tools? So the whole idea is you want to use this first attack, Slow Acting Syncope, or however the hell you say it. You attach an energy to it. You try and trap your opponent's Pokemon in the active, and go from there, really. There's Mega Lucario. So Mega Lucario is going to be the one that we want to gun for, but with this hand, it's not going great. I'm also not going to bounce the stadium just yet. Like I said, we can take out the Blood Moon, but I don't think it's wise to. Let's do that. There's Scramble Switch, but that doesn't do anything for us. I'm just going to hit it for 120. They don't seem to be doing a lot. I'm not going to Energy Switch to it. Well, to the Teal Mask, because I don't really want to lose its energy in play if I can avoid it. They seem to have bricked quite hard, but to be fair, we have as well. We have a lot of unusable cards in hand. We have no energy in the discard. We have no reason to use Energy Switch. There's another Energy Switch. I mean, if I take the knockout, it's not the end of the world. How much damage do you do? Ooh. I could take it out with Chikorita. You know what, folks? Let's do it for the content. Let's retreat into the Chikorita. Night Stretcher back one of those energies. Teal Dance again. There's End's plan. I'm going to... Should I bounce the stadium? I don't think I do. Let's Razor Leaf for 20 and take the knockout. Oh my god, that is disgusting. Oh, I love doing things for the content. It's always funny. Oh, you've got to do it. I mean, I could have obviously attacked with a Teal Mask, but like, that's a 2-prizer, and the fact that I left the Blood Moon with 20 HP remaining, that's so funny. If they had a Charm, I'd have obviously used the Forest of Vitality to bounce the stadium. Well, not bounce the stadium. They'd have had to have bounced the stadium themselves, so attacking with Razor Leaf is actually the smart thing here. But we are kind of whiffing on our Exeggutors since we Iono'd in that early part. They're going into the Grapple Locked. Okay, that's fine. We have the Scramble Switch, so we can at least do that. There's Neutralization Zone, but that's fine. I knew this list had it. I did see it in his Discord. He's attaching to the Mega Lucario, though. Interesting. we can obviously use... In fact, are you Psychic Weak? Yes, you are. I forgot this card existed, so don't have a go at me for forgetting that it's Psychic. I forgot this card existed. But no, I can understand the logic of this deck. I just think 2 Mew is very extreme, but you do you, Chief. There's an Iono, so we can bounce the stadium now, because we've not obviously played one. Because I could Scramble Switch and take another prize, but then they just come up with Lucario. I think we're now, if we just Iono. They're not attacking with Slacked and Syncope, so I'm not too worried. That's also not great. Yeah, we'll just raise a leaf for 20, it's fine. I'm not hugely worried. Like, attacking with the Razor Leaf has been the smartest play we've done this video so far, so we're just whiffing on our Exeggutors, which is kind of a shame. And obviously we're also whiffing on our Meganiums. Like, we've been playing supporters and stuff like that, but we've just not seen our Pokemon at all. Let's see what he does. He could attack the slow-acting Syncope, but I don't think it's worth it. There's a boss. Okay, you're going for the Teal Mass strategy. That's fine. I can play around that, though. So we need to get this Teal Mask out the active. Oh, I like that effect. I have not seen that. That is cool. That is cool. I like that. Okay, bug catching set. Ooh. There's the Meganiums. Sweet. So we'll go evolve. Evolve. So now we only need 1 grass to retreat. Oh, do I need 2? Because surely that counts for 2, right? Yeah, I thought so. So we'll go into the Teal Mask. Energy Switch one of them off onto the Exeggcute. And Mirror Leaf Shell for 180. I do like that new effect. I've not seen that. That is sick. It reminds me a lot of... I know most of you have probably not played this game, but it reminds me of Astrobot with, like, the little, like, timepiece little dude that you use to, like, slow down time and things like that. It reminds me a bit of that. And I know Snipe the Bench's deck did play a lot of energy. It played, like, 10 or 11, I think. But yeah, we're in a pretty bad spot right now. The Iono's good, though. But losing our Fez kind of sucks. Bug catching boss. Okay, we probably won't be able to knock out this Lucario too easily, but you know, it's going to be interesting. We will have to probably kill the Lucario though. We've not seen a single Exeggutor though. That's the only issue. Okay, Gravity Mountain. That's fine. It just reduces Meganium's HP. It's not the end of the world. And Mega Brave. So, for the content, I think we promote the Exeggcute. Let's see what happens. There's another one, so we can bench that. Bug catching. Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. Evolve the Exeggutor. Attach the energy. How much damage are we doing? 180. That actually doesn't matter. So we will go for the Stomping Wood. They have to deal with Exeggutor, because if they don't, they can also kill Meganium, but killing Meganium also doesn't help them. Because then I just superior, because how much damage are we doing without Meganium? So we're doing 60, 90, 120. I superior for... No, I'd be 10 off. I'd be 10 off, so I'd need superior plus energy switch without Meganium in play. If they don't take care of the Exeggutor, we should be okay. If they take out the Teal Mask, so be it. It's fine. They have to get this Lucario at the active. They have to. There's no option here. There's another Octopus, I think he's meant to be. I don't know. I'm just going to call him Squidward throughout this. He could maybe go for the slow acting Syncope and like gust my Teal Mask, which could cause an issue, but we should be okay. He needs to take out this Exeggutor though, but he's 10 short with Aura Jab. There's the attachment. But I've only got 2 cards in hand. Will he Iono? No, he's just doing this for the content, I guess. Making the little clock come up again. Yeah, I need to play a bit more Astro Ball. I got stuck on the last level of like the really hard levels. I legit just couldn't do it. Tried it for like an hour with my sister watching, and I was like, no, I can't do this. But yeah, that's going to be game then, because we just gussed the Lucario for game. Obviously, he didn't Iono, so we have game with Exeggutor. So we're not going to waste this guy's time. We're just going to show the boss. And stomping wood for 180, taking 3 prizes, and finishing the game. But hey, we got to take a knockout with Chikorita, so that game was automatically worth it. And that's game 1. Not a bad result. Obviously, we didn't get to use Exeggutor too much, but we did at least get the winning attack with him. But you can see where this deck obviously might need some Pokegears. But it's just finding a space for them. And it is going to be pretty tricky to shove them into this list. But it's something we'll discuss at the end. So, let's go on to game 2. And welcome to game 2. I was just checking my phone on Discord then. And I looked up and saw that the match was about to begin. So let's get cracking. We did alright that last game. It's just, it did feel a little bit slow, is the main thing. Do I want to go first? Yes, I do. I don't mind going first with this list. So far, it's pretty good no matter first or second. With that starting hand, however, I wish I had gone for second. Oh, it's fine. If we can at least get something down, it's not the end of the world. Plus, we can attack a Fez and, like, threaten Cruel Arrow turn 2, I guess. Cyndaquil. Oh, so this is Ethan's Typhlosion. This will be tough. Okay, well, that's a good start. That's bug catching set. Bug catching set and knock off myself to death. To be fair, I did say in game 1 that I've been a bit unwell last couple of days. But I'm alright. Oh, excellent. That's what we need. And pass. I mean, we might have to attack with Fez at this point, folks. Okay, that's bad. There's a Badoo. Let's see what he does, though. Because I know these Ethan's decks don't play a lot of energy. They play like 6 at most. The one that I play... Oh, this is the Pidgeot version. Okay, that's fine. Does he have the energy to retreat into the Badoo? Because that makes our job a little bit harder. He does. That's annoying. It's not the end of the world, it's just we're going to be a bit slow now. Which, you know, given this hand, that's expected cheap. But we'll be okay. It's not the end of the world. That's a good start though. So let's fin with the Artisan and grab a Chikorita. Unfortunately, we are 20 off from knocking out the Badoo with the Chikorita. So that's Teal Dance. Okay, sure. We can't play it, but you do you, Chief. Yeah, just pass, because there's not a lot we can do right now. Our entire strategy is locked up because of a certain meta card. That's just how these rogue decks sort of go. Like, Exeggutor is definitely not like the best second format, but like it just gets shut off by Badoo, this strategy. And there's another Richie Potlin, that's fine. He's not really doing a whole lot else, so I'm not too worried right now. There's a Forest. I'm going to thin with the Artisan first and get another Exeggcute down. I can bounce the Stadium as well with the Forest and then just pass. I'm not hugely worried at this stage because, you know, we're not in a situation where I need this sort of thing. Okay, there's an Ethan's. That could change things. Now, of course, not all of these lists do play Rare Candy. But obviously the advantage he has in this matchup is he can just go 2-2-2. I can't. I have to go 1-1-1-1-1. 1, which is not fun. There's a Quilava, Earthen Vessel. I know I said Ethan Vessel then. we do need another Energy Search card though, because this rotates soon, and I'm quite sad about that. And another Richie Pollen. And draw for turn. Let's see what we get. Another Grass Energy. That does actually help us. If we get another one, we can potentially attack with a Teal Mask. Okay, no. That's fine. We just pass for now. This is unfortunately just how some matches will go. You will face these matchups, and yeah, this is not looking good for us. And to be fair, we're unfavored anyway because, you know, Fire type into Teal Mask. So, yeah, this is not looking great. A top deck of Ends Plan would be helpful because I can Ends Plan the one with only one on it to the Fez, retreat the Fez, and then attack with Teal Mask, but then we just die to an evens. But yeah, so far this has not been going too well for us. We are off to a pretty bad start. And unless my opponent's been called to dinner, I don't know what they're doing. There's not a lot to an evens deck. You bonded by, you get evens in the discard. I think they've been called to dinner, folks, so I'm not even going to claim this as a win. So let's Jacq. We could grab the Exeggutors now, but I don't think it's worth it. So we'll just grab the Bayleef and Meganium. I forgot I had a Meganium in hand, I'll be brutally honest. We could attack with the Fez. Let's do it for the content, yeah? And then Cruel Arrow, take out the Quilava. I think my opponent's been caught. In fact, what time is it? 9 o'clock in the morning, but time zones are a thing. Time zones are definitely a thing. So maybe he's been called to lunch. That's my guess. Maybe it's an early lunch, I guess. I don't know time zones too well, but I think he's either rage quit because he's scared of grass decks, which is weird because you're facing with a fire deck, or you're actually giving me a chance to fight back, which is weird, and you really shouldn't be doing that. Oh, my opponent's just been... Or maybe he's disconnected. That's probably the only other thing. He definitely should have been continued to attack with Itchy Pollen, because then I wouldn't have been able to do what I just did there. I think my opponent's disconnected, and that's quite a shame. But we'll soon find out, because it should time them out within the next minute or so. And yeah, I think my opponent's been disconnected, bless him. Really unfortunate, but we're not going to beat around the bush. We're just going to take out the Pidgey, because I'm more scared of the Pidgeot. If he comes back, that is. I'm more scared of the Pidgeot. I'll take an Iono off the prizes. Don't worry, I'll give you a game free for this match anyway. Because actually, he's done nothing. He's just passed. So I'm going to assume he's disconnected, which is a shame because this could have been a good game if this had actually been like something I could do, you know. Because I've not really been able to do much since getting the chance to Energy Switch. I just got that Iono off the prizes, and we've been drawing pretty dead. So, you know. But yeah, kind of a shame that this has ended in this way, but still, don't worry, you'll get a game 3. I'm just hoping this guy comes back, but something tells me he's not. I mean, we could just keep attacking with the Fez. It's not the end of the world. Excuse me. He should be timed out, and yeah, there we go. He's been timed out, bless him. That could have been fun. Like, yeah, we was getting item locked to oblivion, but you know, we could have had something there, but it's fine. Let's go on to a game 3. And welcome back. Is this the exact same dude as game 2? I didn't check. I didn't look at the username, I'll be brutally honest. Probably not, but like, I don't know why. The red jacket he had on just made me look made it look like it was him. I've also just noticed that there's a graphical bug on the map borders, or the arena borders. Unless that's part of the design, but it looks more like, you know, like when you're filling stuff in on paint? It reminds me of that. Okay, Chikorita start, not the worst thing in the world. Are we going first or second? We're going second. That's good, though. That's really good. Because we can body Poffin, bug catching set, put a forest down, lilies. We have a really good start hand. Oh no, this is United Wings. Okay, this will be spicy. Let's see what happens here. This is going to be an interesting one, because I do love this deck. United Wings reminds me a lot of Mad Party, if you may remember that deck. And yeah, I loved Mad Party. I remember there's a guy who used to be at my locals called Jay. I still keep in touch with him every so often. Oh my god. So how many is that in the discard already? So 3, 4. 4 in the discard already. So Chikorita is going down, is what I'm trying to say. But no energy attachment is pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. That's Buddy Poffin. Grab these two. Then bird catching sets. We might as well thin, I guess. Attach to you. Put the forest in play and lilies. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So now we can Teal dance to the Ogerpon. Look at the Nest Ball for another Teal mask, because obviously we want to put as much energy as we can in play. Now, these Murkrows are lightning weak, so unfortunately Chikorita is not going to get their chance to do swinging for 40 for weakness. Unfortunately not. Murkrow is a lightning weak in the TCG. And even if it wasn't, it is not grass weak in the games. It's part flying type. I'll take the Iono. It is annoying because we do have Bayleef Meganium in hand, but we'll live with it. There's a bug catching set and a Jacq, so we do actually have a decent chance of attacking next turn. But yeah, like I said, I do apologise if you've been hearing like coughing and like me clearing my throat a lot during this video. Like I say, I do apologise for having the infamous man flu. 2 grass off the bug catching set is pretty good. There's Meganium, so we can actually do it. So we can go for a Jacq. We can grab a Bayleef and an Exeggutor. So now we can go evolve, evolve, evolve. Then we're going to start Teal dancing. We have to leave 1 for ourselves. Let's see, attack. That is excellent. We'll attach retreat, and now we can energy switch. Oh, we can even scramble switch. Ooh. It's not worth it now, so I'm just going to attach to the Chikorita. Retreat into the Exeggutor. Energy switch the one off the one that has only 1. And then Stomping Wood. 180. Thanks to Meganium. It would have had the knockout. Well, it wouldn't have had the knockout without Meganium, so we had to do it that way. We could have obviously gone attach retreat into the one with 2 on it, and then scramble switch into this, but it's not worth it. So how many do they have in the discard? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're doing 100 damage. There's a Dunsparce and a Dark Energy. So they need 2 more in the discard pile to knock out our Exeggutor. They could also counter catcher. That's something to consider. They can counter catcher. Yeah, I tried the Dunsparce variant of this deck and I didn't really like it. There's Fender, so they do have the knockout on Exeggutor. Obviously they can't boss, because obviously they did Hilda. There goes all the watch rolls. They do have the knockout, which is slightly concerning. So that brings them up to... Okay, really interrupted me whilst I'm counting there. So 2, 6, 7, 10... So that's 10, so that's 200 damage. Jeez. Well, don't worry, folks. I do have a plan. If it works out. Go into the Teal mask. And draw. Okay, well that really doesn't help. So let's Artisan. We can grab another Exeggcute, which I think is correct. But I do want to put Fez down and get some extra draw. So for now, I'm going to fail it. Let's put the Fez down, and Fez for 3. There's a Forest and a Superior. We're not really going to need Boss in this matchup, I don't think. That might bite me in the arse later, but... we can attack with Meganium, which I think would be funny, but it does put our strategy at risk. That's the only thing. So... Night Stretcher back and energy. We don't need to grab Exeggutor right now. We could, but it's Scramble switching into it, and then that leaves us basically dead in the water. So I don't really want to do that. So I think it's actually correct to Scramble Switch into Meganium, swing a Meganium, and start setting up the Exeggcute on the bench. Plus, it's for the content. Oh. Game. Don't break on me. I just want to use my fancy Scramble Switch. Don't break on me. Come on. There we go. So then we can go Teal Dance. There's a Night Stretcher, so we can get another energy back, because obviously we do have multiple Exeggutor in deck, so we're not too worried. So then we can go Teal Dance again. And speak of the devil, and he shall appear. So then we can go Energy Switch onto there. And yeah, we just Solar Beam for 140, take the knockout. I mean, I did say that I've never attacked with Meganium before, so that's one off the bucket list, I guess. There's one of the Exeggutors at the prizes, that's pretty good. I did forget to prize check, but... Well, we're in the last game, we're up against a meme deck, I'm not too worried about this. We're probably going to lose this matchup, but... Still. There's another Hilda for another Dark and a... Evolution. See, this is where it can get ugly, because obviously we can potentially lose out in terms of attachments now. We can get another Meganium established, so it's not the end of the world. But we are technically ahead in the prize race, so it's not a huge concern. So now we can go into the Exeggutor. Yeah, I'm honestly just going to Superior away one of these bosses and the counter catchers. Excuse me. So we'll Fez with 3 first. There's a Bayleef, so that's a good start. I need to attach one to the Exeggutor. I know that much. There's another Exeggcute. That's pretty useful. So now we can evolve it straight away. Teal Dance again. There's an Energy Switch, so we do have the knockout. And we can also go for an Iono. Not a bad turn. This deck is doing better than I thought, you know. There's another Energy Switch, so we can start setting up the other one. And yeah, Stomping Wood. It's a shame these aren't 30 HPs, otherwise I'll be using Guard Press. Probably not going to take out a knockout with Guard Press in this video, but I'm not really too worried. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. So far, though, we've been keeping up with the prize race thanks to our single prize attackers. Like, yeah, you don't have to use Meganium as an attacker, but it's for the content, so you got to do it. You know, it's mandatory. I mean, we've attacked with all sorts in this video. We've got a knockout with Chikorita, we've got knockouts with Fez, we've taken a knockout with Meganium, and obviously we're using our Exeggutors. Like, we've been doing pretty smoothly in terms of, like, meme attacks and stuff, but I don't know how my opponent's going to do, because obviously we did Iono them to 4, but they do have the Dunsparce draw, so this could be an interesting game still. Their best way to win now is obviously go for a Teal Mask and the Fez. Preferably Fez first, because obviously Fez is obviously drawing me cards every time they take a knockout. Ogerpon relies on me having Grass in hand. But I think our opponent may have Rage Quit. They cannot stand up to the eggs. Maybe they like their eggs scrambled. I don't know. I've never had scrambled eggs. And well, they've promoted the attacker that you don't really want to promote in this matchup, because ideally you just want to be attacking with Murkrows, so chaining Murkrows back to back. This takes too long to set up, because you don't play Crispins in this list, you just play Dark Energy for the Murkrows, and then you just attach across the board. But no, I think, judging by this being promoted, I think our opponent is Rage Quit. Which is a shame, but that is just what happens, unfortunately. What that does mean, though, is we can go attach here, Teal Dance, Lilies. We can get some value. But to be fair, I am concerned about cards in deck, so I'm probably just going to attach here and then Lilies. But given that our opponent has just passed, which means they have definitely Rage Quit, yeah, and I have not played that research, I'm not that dumb. There's a Meganium. That's good. So we don't need to Teal Dance here then. I'll just do that, and then Stomping Wood for 240. Take out the Flamigo. they can still win this matchup if they come back, but I don't think they're going to come back. Let's see how long it takes them to promote, because if it's an auto-promote, it normally takes a bit of time, as we saw with the last match. But I think because we're keeping up with single prize attacks, that's what's throwing them off with this game plan. So I can understand why they're annoyed, you know. But let's see what happens. I think they have rage quit because they are not promoting anything. Like I said, they have a chance to still win. That's the weird thing. They are primarily want to take out 2 prizes, and I have 3 2 prizes on my bench. You played 0 Gust. Like, you can win this matchup. Even with me being on 2 prizes, you can still win. But no, it just looks like they're not going to do anything. They're just, you know, they've gone AFK. They've gone turn early lunch. And yep, there we go. Kind of a shame it had to end that way, but, well, that's just what happens when they get scared of the eggs. I would say that was an excellent battle, but it really wasn't. Pardon the pun. So, that went pretty smoothly. I mean, 3 wins for Exeggutor. Can't fault that. So what do I think of the deck? This deck is definitely quite fun. I do think it needs a little bit of work, though. Obviously, playing high counts of supporters is all well and good, but obviously finding those supporters when you need them can be a little bit tricky. So my recommendation would be cut a boss, cut 2 Iono, because I don't think you need 4, and cut 1 other card, I'm not sure what though, and put in 4 Pokegears. I think that would really fix this list, like give you more consistency and stuff like that. But as you saw, Exeggutor, even with low energy counts put on it, can still deal some good damage. I mean, 180 on a single prizer is pretty good. And obviously, even though we didn't get to one-shot a Mega Lucario, we still got to take out a Lucario. So we at least got to use what I wanted to do. But I've got to remember how many you actually need. I think it's 5 energy on it to take a knockout with... Yeah, it's 5 energy on the Exeggutor to take out a Lucario. And as we saw, it's very easy to do that with the way this list was built. But obviously, as I said, I think putting in 4 Pokegears, however possible, is going to really help this list go further. But anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. Really hope you enjoyed seeing Exeggutor with Meganium, and I'll see you next time.